Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Everyday English Boost. I'm Emma.
And I'm Jack. If you're learning English and feel like you're not improving fast enough, this one's for you.
Oh yes. Today we're talking about one of the most underrated, but powerful ways to stay motivated, celebrating small wins in your English learning journey.
Because let's be honest, when you're learning a language, it's easy to focus only on what you can't do yet.
Exactly. Like, I still can't understand native speakers, or why do I keep forgetting words I already learned? We've all been there.
But what if instead you stopped and noticed that this week, you finally ordered coffee in English without switching to your native language?
Or you understood a joke in a YouTube video without subtitles?
Or even finished a podcast episode, like this one, without pausing every 5 seconds to translate? That's a huge deal.
Seriously. These are the kinds of things that prove you're moving forward. And if you ignore them, you risk feeling stuck, even when you're growing.
You know, I think one reason learners skip over their wins is because they think those moments are too small to matter.
But the truth is, fluency is built on hundreds of those little steps. Every one of them counts.
It's kind of like going to the gym. You don't notice muscles growing after 1 or 2 workouts, but you celebrate sticking with it, right?
Same with English. Your progress isn't always visible right away, but when you celebrate those milestones, even tiny ones, you give your brain a big motivational boost.
Totally. And here's something cool. Celebrating small wins actually rewires your brain. When you recognize progress, your brain releases dopamine, the feel-good chemical. That makes you want to keep going.
Exactly. It's like giving yourself a high five every time you achieve something, even if it's just understanding the lyrics of a song, or writing a full sentence without translating.
And it doesn't have to be anything big. Even saying, hey, I remembered 3 new words today, or I spoke up during my online English class, is worth acknowledging.
Some learners even keep a progress journal. Just a small notebook or app where they write down one thing they did well in English every day. Over time, it's really motivating to look back and realize how far you've come.
Or if journaling's not your thing, try voice notes. Record a short update in English once a week. You'll be amazed at how much clearer and more confident you sound over time.
That's a great idea. And don't wait for perfection. If you wait until you sound fluent before you feel proud of yourself, you're going to miss 1,000 reasons to celebrate along the way.
Preach. Also, share your wins with others, your study group, your teacher, or even online. It might feel awkward at first, but other learners will relate and maybe even be inspired by your progress.
And guess what? Celebrating your wins doesn't just help you, it builds a culture of encouragement in the language learning community. It tells others, hey, it's okay to be proud of where you are.
One of my students once told me, I only said 1 sentence in English today, but I said it without freezing. That's huge. That moment, right there, is a win. We tend to overlook things like that because we compare ourselves to native speakers or fluent people online.
Yes. And comparison can be so demotivating. It's like running your first mile and being upset you're not winning a marathon. You have to respect your own pace. Every learner's journey is different.
I think a powerful shift happens when you start treating your English journey like a series of victories instead of a series of failures. Every mistake, every retry, every little improvement, those are all wins in disguise.
Absolutely. And let's not forget the emotional wins too. Like when you're not afraid to ask someone to repeat themselves. Or when you choose to speak even if your grammar isn't perfect.
That mindset, that courage to speak up despite imperfection, is more valuable than any vocabulary list. That's real-world fluency in action.
Yes. Fluency isn't just knowing all the words. It's about expressing yourself. Being understood. Feeling free when you speak. And every little step you take toward that freedom deserves to be celebrated.
So here's a fun challenge for our listeners today. Before the day ends, write down or say out loud one thing you did today in English that you're proud of. Doesn't matter how small. Just celebrate it.
That's such a great challenge, Jack. I love that idea. Even something like understanding a meme in English, or replying to a YouTube comment in English, those are real moments of progress.
Exactly. And if you make this a habit, acknowledging small wins, you actually build more momentum. Your brain starts associating English with success instead of fear or failure.
Yes, and it's psychological too. The more you focus on what's going well, the more motivated you feel. It's like your brain says, hey, we're doing this. We're improving.
And think about how that affects your consistency. When you feel like you're winning, even in small ways, you're much more likely to keep showing up, right?
Right. And consistency is the secret sauce to long-term fluency. But it all starts with seeing those little steps as meaningful.
Here's another idea: keep a language wins journal. Every day or every week, write down 1 or 2 things you did in English that felt like progress.
Oh, I love that. And when you have a tough day and feel like you're stuck or not improving, you can go back to that journal and remind yourself of how far you've come.
Exactly. Because let's be honest, learning a language is emotional. Some days feel amazing, others feel discouraging. That's why it's so powerful to have something to remind you that you are growing.
Another thing you can do is celebrate your wins out loud. Literally say to yourself, hey, I just watched a whole video in English and understood 80% of it. That kind of self-recognition matters.
Yeah, totally. It rewires your thinking. Instead of always chasing perfection, you start noticing progress. And that's what keeps you moving forward.
Also, share your wins with others, your study group, online community, or even your pet if no one's around. Just saying it out loud makes it feel more real.
Right? I actually posted about one of my own English breakthroughs on Reddit once, and people were super encouraging. It gave me a real boost.
I love that. We often forget how uplifting community support can be. You never know who you're inspiring just by sharing that you finally understood a podcast or spoke to a stranger in English.
And honestly, small wins often add up to big moments. You don't suddenly become fluent overnight. You get there because of 100 tiny things you did right.
Exactly. Like the first time you order food in English without panicking. Or when you use a new phrase correctly. Those are huge in the long run.
And if there's one takeaway from today, it's this: don't wait for perfection to celebrate. Celebrate the process. Every step counts, even the tiny ones.
Yes. Whether it's finishing a short article, having a simple conversation, or just remembering a new word, you deserve to feel proud. That energy is what keeps your learning alive.
So keep a progress journal, share your wins, speak kindly to yourself, and remember, fluency isn't just the goal. It's the journey.
Thanks for joining us today. Keep going, keep growing, and don't forget, the small steps you take today become the confidence you feel tomorrow.
We believe in you. See you in the next episode.